Let's see what's going on. National media. This is talking about, the quarterbacks and Deshaun Watson's seemingly saved money in this big, huge contract that everybody was fussing about. Everybody was so stuck on the contract. Everybody was so stuck on the numbers. So you needed to get return on investment. Well, seems like AB's been cooking.
Regarding the cap savings that the Browns have gotten for the insurance they purchased on Deshaun Watson. So I went down the rabbit hole, which is far better than going down the hornet hole, over the weekend to figure it all out. The Browns had no comment on the matter, and I don't expect them to say anything about it, especially when you hear what I'm about to tell you. NFLPA records show that starting in 2024, and just quick history here, the insurance provision was in the contract from the moment it was signed. $230 million, fully guaranteed, an insurance addendum that allows the Browns to purchase insurance that would give them up to certain specific amounts of money based upon injuries that happened 2022, 23, 24, 25, etc. There were no injuries in 2022. Deshaun Watson missed 11 games due to a suspension, played the final 6, not an issue. It starts in 23. And there was a renegotiation. There's been one every year because they've been restructuring the deal and kicking the cap consequences out into future years. So starting with the 2023 renegotiation and continuing up until last year, this insurance addendum is in the contract. And I'll keep it as simple as I can. I went through the breakdown that the NFLPA has of the various contracts that Watson has signed. There was the 23 renegotiation. There was a renegotiation in August of 24. There was another one in December of 24. There was another one in March of 25. And then there was one more that isn't relevant to this from March of 26. When you look at the full...
That sounds like a lot of renegotiations. So when you start talking about, looking out for your guys, but also looking out for your franchise, man, shouts out to Andrew Berry on this one. And a lot of people in the Cleveland media do not like to give him his flowers, but to me, this seems like a great job of being able to orchestrate the cap and to finesse it in a way that gives you the best benefits, right? When you look at Deshaun Watson's contract, it was an eyesore, the worst contract in NFL history. Well, how do you get some return on investment from a player that's not really giving you anything on the field? Insurance. You start taxing back. You start getting some of that money back each and every year so that it's not as hefty as a cost on your franchise right now.
Insurance that was available based upon when the injuries happened. And Deshaun Watson missed a lot of time in 2023 with shoulder injuries. I think he missed 11 games in all in 2023 with multiple shoulder injuries. He eventually had a season ender that came to light right after they had that great win in Baltimore, 39-38, I think the final score was. It finally felt like this Watson trade and contract was starting to yield fruit for the Browns. Boom, he was done for the year. That was his second shoulder injury of the year. 2024, in October, he suffers the torn Achilles, tears it again later in the year while he's rehabbing it. So he missed 11 games in 23, 10 in 24, and all 17 into 2025. The end result for the cap credits that they get, and they don't come all at once, they're tied to bonus prorations because every year they restructure the deal and they kick money into future years. For 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29. I identified them all. I added them up. I did it by calculator. I did it by hand once, and it was off. It didn't match the calculator. I did it by hand again. Carry the 2, carry the 3. Did it all by hand. Checked it twice. 88 million plus in salary cap savings for the Browns.
So when you think about that, everybody give a round of applause to Andrew Berry. That's how you make lemonade out of you-know-what. That's how you take a situation which was soured, which put a huge stain on your organization, and you reverse it and you be able to cut down and save your franchise on the back end. I love that. Andrew Berry doing his thing as far as being able to orchestrate the cap and finesse the cap to the betterment of the franchise. Shouts out to Andrew Berry, man. And that's something that people have to get and people have to start talking about as far as in the Cleveland media. This guy is cooking. He's on an all-time heater right now. And if everything works out, man, Andrew Berry's going to be that guy. Shouts out to Miss Donna. How you doing, man? Intel Plays says, hopefully that means Jag gets cut and we get a real vet, LOL. Man, there we go. We started off hot with Jerry Jeudy, man. Everybody knows Jerry Jeudy, this is a make or break season for him. Just like a lot of players. But this is specifically, when it comes to Jerry Jeudy, a make or break season for him. But back to what we were talking about, I love how AB is doing this for the betterment of the franchise, because now you might have the possibility with $80 million saved in the cap to be able to go and target a free agent in the offseason next year, right? Maybe make a trade, maybe be able to do something to add an addition to your roster that can help you. Shouts out AB, man. Continue cooking.
That's from 2024 through 2029 on a $230 million deal. Now, the contract runs through 2026, but the extensions add void years that they park cap dollars into. And that's one of the reasons why they need to keep him all the way through 2026 so they can take advantage of 27, 28, 29, 30. They're going to be taking cap charges each of those years, but they're getting offset. They're getting cap savings all the way through 2029.
So rolling in to your new stadium, figure that. Shouts out to AB. Figure that, fellas and ladies. AB has figured out how to turn Deshaun Watson's situation, that horrible cap space, that negative stain on your organization. He's now taken that, and what he's done is he's turned that into now capital that you have all the way through 2029, which is when you are supposed to unveil your new dome, your new stadium. So what you're doing is you're giving your team, your franchise, the availability to cook. Give yourself the best scenario available when we open this new stadium. You're trying to line up everything perfectly so that we're in a great winning mindset, a great position as far as with the fan base, with the players, with our standings as far as in the NFL rankings when we move into the dome. Nobody wants to go into the dome on a losing record with no attractions, nobody coming in, no butts in seats. And AB is lining this thing up to cook, man. Shouts out to AB once again.
And the total savings they'll get on a $230 million contract is more than $88 million, thanks to the insurance policy that they purchased with the Watson contract. Now, the premiums surely were not cheap, but they got $88 million. And that's cash back to the team, and it's cap savings from 24 through 29. So it's
5 years of cap savings. Now, at this point in time, this is a bombshell, right? Because when we think about it, for the last however long, the last 6 years, it's just been such a stain. But nobody understood that AB actually has something to be able to protect themselves a little bit. Yeah, was it a bad deal? Was it a swing and a miss? Yes, all of those things can be correct. But on the back end, we still covered our you-know-what by throwing some insurance on this guy because we knew it was a big risk when we went into it. Clap it up for AB. Clap it up for AB. You have to, man. You have to, because that is an elite pro move. That's what you call GMing at an all-time level right there. So they hate it. They downplayed on this guy. But look at it. And shouts out to you guys. I mean, over 80 million saved off of the 230 plus guaranteed contract. Boy, you talking about wheeling and dealing, cutting deals, doing what needs to be done to save your you know what. Great job, AB. Great job, AB.
Still a horrible transaction. One of the worst transactions in NFL history when you consider what the Browns gave up. We don't talk much about what the Browns gave up because 5 years fully guaranteed, $46 million a year, that's the headline. But when you give up at least 3 first-round picks plus more, those are young, cheap players who could grow into your future nucleus of talent. that you keep on the team.
Future nucleus of talent. And what did we just talk about? Moving to the Dome in 29. All of that money, that 88 million, spreads throughout 29. From 24 to 29. That gives you the availability to cook all of those years to be able to prep yourself to move into the Dome. Let me tap in with you guys real quick, man. Jag is on the line. We know that. That's facts. These haters want AB fired after Miles was traded. For sure. The Dome is $2.6 billion. You better have a winning team. Absolutely. You cannot go into a brand new facility with a team that's bogus. If you go into a new facility with a team that's bogus, you know how much money is at stake, is on the line? And if you know Jimmy Haslam, that boy ain't trying to lose no dollars. He's about making a dollar. One of the best to do it when it comes to making dollars. This team must be cooking when you go to the Dome. Getting damn near 100 mil back for 230 mil guaranteed is crazy. Absolutely, man. Shout out to Intel Pays. But it is absolutely wild to be able to finesse that out of the contract, man. That is wild work. Last Naga, AB turned on that third burner when he traded up to get Shedeur. He did. But AB has been on an all-time heater. And it's crazy that the Cleveland media does not really give him the credit that's due. This guy is really cooking.
Team that help you win. Even with all that, out of 230 million, you get more than 88 million back. That's pretty good. It's pretty good for the Browns. So that was my project over the weekend. And
man, so when you think about that, that is an amazing number to be able to get back. Once again, we've talked throughout, I don't know, the last 6 years about how much of a waste it was, how terrible it was, how much of a stain on the organization it was that this happened. Look at AB coming in clutch, saving keisters.